as of about half hour ago, maybe. I'm not entirely certain what time the last game ended, but it's been 7 days as of sometime in the last 40
2 hours,
minutes or so.
hour and a half. Yeah.
It's officially been 7 days since the Blue Jays were eliminated in 2 games to the 86-win Minnesota Twins.
So, Brant, do you want to walk your statement back now?
Now, at the time, I think
No.
it was the right
Do you
choice.
want to no?
To
Do you want to walk your statement back now?
The Twins are still not a good team. However,
they're better than the Rays.
Watching what the Rays and the Orioles were, we definitely would have had a lot more fun going through that way because the Rays fucking sucked worse than us. Like, I know how bad it feels to be a Blue Jays fan right now, but like the Rays won. What did they win? 90.
At least our games were close.
Yeah.
Like the Rays weren't even.
The Rays should have been way better than us, and they weren't even in the ballpark.
Neither was Baltimore, realistically.
No,
they weren't that close.
I didn't even get to that point yet because like the Rays they didn't have a guy on second in that second game until
the ninth inning.
The ninth? That's fucking terrible, bro.
To be fair, like I want to talk Rangers for a quick sec.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this Rangers team is that good. I think these two teams are just like that bad now.
I think they both just ran into the worst week of their season. I think the Rangers are better than we're going to give them credit for.
Oh my God. I think they're a fine baseball team, but
the purchase was made. It's official. Texas baby. Random cowboy.
It's a nice hat. I do like that hat.
Really nice hat.
Like the Rays stunk. There was no way around that.
That's why I said you want to play that.
The Orioles, I think they got caught the same way every other division winner gets caught, and they kind of froze up a wee bit over the 3 days off.
You know how they got caught? Look at their fucking starting rotation.
The same issues that we said all year was going to be their problem. Their best start was 4 2/3 of 2 runs.
And they couldn't out-hit their problems.
And like that's how Texas did it most of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But you had who won game 1? I forget.
Of the DS or the
DS.
Monty?
Oh, Monty.
No,
Monty won
DS
game 1 wild card.
DS was Heaney. First game of the DS was fucking Heaney. Andrew Heaney.
They went Dog and then
or did Dunning come in relief in that game?
Heaney and then Dunning. Yeah.
Okay.
And then they went
you had
Monty
Heaney
again.
Good, and then Monty diced, and so did
Evaldi.
Evaldi was nasty, dude.
They had those guys. They went into the deadline, picked up starters like Monty
and Scherzer, who's going to be back.
And Baltimore picked up a guy that's not on their playoff roster and a starter.
Oh, you mean Jack
who's
Flaherty?
The long man in the bullpen?
I was about to say.
Did Fuji not make the roster?
I don't think he
No.
Oh, lovely.
Like that's the funny part.
I don't have a good thing to say about
Pat too.
Baltimore.
Tampa got Savali.
Okay, that's fair. But
in fairness, Tampa's whole thing kind of fell apart after the deadline. Like,
when was Franco?
It was either after or just before. Like
it was like
days before the deadline.
No, it was spiraling all year. Like Springs, then Rasmussen, then
Shane Mack was pretty close.
Mack was more recent. Those two were early. Then you had Shane Mack and Franco and
then you had like
Boz before the year.
I mean, even going into the playoffs, Yandy Diaz wasn't 100%.
No,
Jose Siri just came back.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Brandon Lau
was gone.
Weeks ago.
Luke Raley was gone. Like,
yeah, a lot of their season fell apart after the trade deadline happened. You really didn't have a chance. Like, I think if their team is healthy going into the playoffs, they're a different team. But yeah, it wasn't pretty for the Rays, and it wasn't pretty for the Orioles. The Orioles were swept for the first time in Adley Rutschman's career. That's so tough,
insane. Man. It's a great time for it to happen.
I love it.
Thanks.
To be fair though, it was a tough go for the boys too.
Sounds like the Leafs scored. I can hear it around my house right now. Sorry. What would you say? Tough what?
There's tough go for our boys. We haven't even really talked about that.
No, we have been.
That was real bad.
I mean, as we've stated in our group chat multiple times, only that team is only one of ours right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as one can clearly visually see, and Nate has stated that he is now a Phillies fan.
Yeah.
I mean, my phone background is Bryce Harper, and it has been for like 3 years. So
Bryce is my guy.
Yeah.
I can't leave the team. Sorry, guys. Okay, we'll get into it, I guess. First things first.
Impact players?
No.
I mean, I can think of an impact.
Jose Berrios.
I could think of an impact player that fucking didn't get to have an impact.
Impact player, John Schneider.
John Schneider. Or
Ross Atkins.
Or Ross Atkins, you never know.
Apparently James Click. We're not there yet. We need to go through a lot of stuff. We need to go through a lot first before we get to that whole disaster. First and foremost, Kevin Gausman started game 1.
Was not good.
Was not good.
What do you guys think about that? Because there was like
that's what I was gonna ask.
Controversy afterwards, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what you guys think. For me, he's your fucking ace. He's starting game 1. I don't give a fuck who the team is.
That was the controversy that he shouldn't have started game 1?
Yeah, they should have started. Shouldn't have started game 1, or shouldn't have started.
I do agree with you, Nate. Like, I think you're right. But his numbers are so bad against Minnesota.
Yeah,
but the thing there
got shelled against them at the start of the year too.
Yeah.
So then, what are you running out? Ryu, Kikuchi, and Berrios?
Sure. No, it didn't make sense. You go down with your guys, and Kevin Gausman is very much your guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's tough. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Kevin Gausman gave up 3 runs on 2 homers. That was it.
I was gonna say, can we just address the elephant in the room here? There was a stat that came out with the amount of extra base hits that every team in the wildcard series. Jays only had 1. Do you want to know how many the Minnesota Twins had?
They had 2. I can think of
They had 2
in the whole series.
It was both the Royce Lewis home runs
in the whole series.
2 in the whole series.
Was it all singles in
the second game? It was Berrios gave up the walk. Kikuchi then comes in.
Oh yeah, he didn't give up much.
Infield single because Cav couldn't fill it cleanly on like a dive, and then I think it was another single to load the bases, or no, it was a walk to load the bases, and then Correa hit the single.
You're right.
So, yeah,
a single that scored 2. Yes.
2 fucking extra base hits the whole series. Fuck the pitching decisions, which is like another thing. You motherfuckers, 1 extra base hit.
Dude, yeah. What did I say? What did I say going into the series? Why I didn't want to face the Twins? They can pitch.
They couldn't.
They can hit.
Sonny Gray wasn't
shut up
good.
For 2 seconds. Those are the 2 things.
Sonny Gray wasn't good.
We made him look good then.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with Sonny Gray. He was serving things up the entire game. They
just
did nothing with it.
But Brant,
we didn't do anything with it.
Brant, you could say that for the other 163 games they played. The amount of pitchers that served up shit and they just
they did nothing with it. Like, I think at the end of the day, like, I don't know what the score of the Twins game is right now.
It's 3-2 last I saw. With
3-2 Astros?
Astros still. Julian just hit a
Sonny Gray got his shit
2 runs, 2 home runs right now. Fuck. Oh, he did. Like, it was bad.
His shit rocked yesterday. Because he hasn't not been good in a little bit.
Because the Astros had a game plan. Mm-hmm. They sat slider or sweeper and just fucking punished it.
Did not.
And
plain and simple, the entire series, the Blue Jays could not do anything at the plate.
Like,
it's been kind of the narrative all year,
especially when we run as a scoring position, because
I don't know why we expected any different.
The fucking decisive ass play for me, it was in game 1. I'm almost 1,000% sure. Bottom or top 8. Vlad hits a fucking missile of a double to lead off. And then Bo Bichette goes back to 2019 and says, I'm a fucking fish in the dirt on a pitch 20 feet away from me. Cav goes down, which I know Nate loved. And then Kirk grounds out. And I'm just like,
yeah. It's just.
And then Yohan Duran just fucking.
Let's, should we address the elephant in the room in game 1?
Which one was that? I don't.
The Bo Bichette decision. Try and score.
I forgot that was
game. Not error.
Okay, there's a couple things there. I don't hate.
I would have, if I'm running, I do it too.
I'm
But I'm
slow
not-
as shit, and I'm doing that 99 times out of 100
But
because
my
of
thing-
how far Correa has to go, and he has to make the perfect play. If that throw is off at all, he's safe so easy.
And
And
we're
also
like-
look at our offense. We don't score, and you got
No,
Chappie
you
coming
need
up who's
runs
been
when you can get
ice
them.
cold.
What are you gonna say, Connor?
And like the thing is, the only issue I had is like if you watch the replay, Bo fucking kind of like stops up going into third and then realizes, oh shit,
he's nowhere near. The
he's
ball got
nowhere near
through.
the
He's
ball.
nowhere near.
I can go. And then like, but if Bo's hauling ass the whole time, he scores like no problem, even with the perfect throw.
Yeah.
Like
People are yelling at like him saying
Louis
Rivera threw up a stop sign and shit. Like, I get it,
it's fair,
but it doesn't matter in that scenario. That's not Louis' decision. Like, that's right in front of you.
Yeah.
And you can see how far the guy is. You know the jump you can get. You're not, if you're looking at your coach, you're staying because you don't have time.
Yeah. At the end of the day, Carlos Correa had to make a perfect throw, and he did.
And he did because he's Carlos Correa in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
How many times out of 10 do you think he makes that perfect throw?
Perfect, I think maybe two. Maybe two.
I was gonna say maybe
I would give him
5.
3 or 4. Yeah.
Like
I think it's more than that, but it's
so it's a 30 to 50% chance that he makes that throw.
Yeah.
And it's 70 to 50%
It's
chance
worth
he
the
doesn't.
odds,
Like,
especially when we did literally nothing the rest of the game. It's worth the risk to try and score a run when you can't score them.
Yeah.
It didn't work out. That's at the end of the day.
I have no issues with the pitching.
Nope.
Like we can
Nobody
talk
was
about,
bad.
We can talk about the Kikuchi Berrios thing till we're fucking red in the face. But like
even Cooch wasn't bad.
They gave up 2 runs that whole game.
Mm-hmm.
I like, honestly, I think it worked pretty well perfectly. The Kikuchi Berrios. I think it worked perfectly the way they wanted it to. I think they didn't implement it properly because I would have put Kikuchi in a clean inning.
Yeah.
If
you were going to commit to that idea, Berrios shouldn't have pitched to start that inning at all.
He should have, in my opinion. Should have. And then you could have brought in Meza or Cabrera.
Yeah.
And then the Cooch gets you that extra inning and it works out, but it's the plan. I think the plan worked perfectly. You got the Twins' big lefties out of there. You got to their weaker righty bats and then switch back. But you just didn't score.
If the Jays score 6 runs in the series, we're talking about them possibly being in the ALCS.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah, because we've played the Astros well.
We played the Astros well.
Yeah. As soon as they did that move, though, it brought. I tweeted it out too, but it was like PTSD flashbacks of 2020 against the Rays when they did the exact same thing. They had a righty that was dealing, and they switched it to bring in a lefty who doesn't have a ton of control at the best of times. That guy gave up a run or 2. I think Robbie Ray gave up 1. Cooch gave up 2.
Realistically, Ray that year and Kikuchi right now are the same pitcher.
Yeah.
But to a lesser extent with the PTSD, I got PTSD for kind of similar thing, but for a completely different reason. Was literally last year when Kevin Gausman got pulled in game 2.
Yeah,
that's a game. It's I know,
but Gausman, at least that point, it was you could defend that one.
You could defend that one a little bit, but it's just fuck, this didn't.
The other
work.
one was exactly the same. You gave them 3 innings, and then you sent out the other guy. That was the predetermined plan.
I forget what I was listening to, and they were talking about this and said that, but they did bring up Shoemaker had been hurt down the stretch. He hadn't fully rehabbed, hadn't fully been stretched out. I think his pitch limit was 60, so he might have maybe got you another inning.
I think you would also just go to the fact that
this is Berrios' best game probably of this season.
Look, that was the filthiest he's ever fucking looked in the Blue Jays uniform.
He just carves the Twins every time too.
He's the best.
It was just bad vibes, honestly.
He's the best pitcher in Target Field history, ERA wise, and you pulled him after 3 innings against his old team, and you have to make him sit there and watch as his old team wins a playoff series for the first time in basically the same amount of times it takes the Leafs to win a fucking series.
I don't know if I'm glad we waited, but my opinion has varied.
Oh wait, dude!
The last the 10 minutes after the game when I was.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, clearly, my opinion changed.
Right, as soon as the game ended, my whole mindset was fire John Schneider. I don't know how you go into next season with him.
I think I texted you guys that right after that happened.
You said, I think me and you both said he done fucking like change everything. Like,
yes. And now we are a week later. And
we definitely needed the week.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it would have
My
been a hell of a
opinion's
lot more
gone back
interesting
and forth
podcast.
a bunch of times.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get rid of John Schneider. I don't think John Schneider this is going to sound stupid, but I don't think John Schneider's a bad manager. I think he's in a bad situation. I think if you want to make a change on this ball team, you need to get rid of Ross Atkins.
Yeah, because say you get rid of John Schneider, that's Ross Atkins' fourth manager.
At what point do you accept that maybe it's not the manager's fault?
It's 100% not. The only thing I would say, I 100% agree. It's not Schneider's fault. It's a product of the situation that he's in, and pretty well any other manager is going to do that. But there's not every manager is going to do that. There's guys out there who
you could get a guy that's not going to listen and
managing right now they're going to listen to the analytics, but they're going to use their gut when they need to use their gut.
Okay, and to all the
Schneider's not that. It's just sorry. Yeah, Schneider's not that guy, and they don't want him to be that guy. So I don't think they'd hire one of those guys. Why would you fire Schneider?
And this is my thing. And to your point, I think someone of us three tweeted this out. Gabe Kapler would do the same fucking thing. So you motherfuckers, you would get the same fucking reaction. Gabe Kapler would do the same thing that John Schneider did.
Sure.
And everybody would be like, "Oh my god!"
We skipped Gabe Kapler on the last podcast, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
We forgot.
I want to talk just quick. I don't remember who brought this up, but I heard it said somewhere. He's like the focal point of that team. He was. That's got to be kind of draining for players, like
I think
to an extent. And like you look at it, since he's been there, or since Posey retires, the past 2 years, who's been the focal point of that team? It's been Gabe.
But
I couldn't tell you anyone on that team, to be honest.
Yeah, to kind of defend Gabe Kapler, who the fuck is on that team?
No, I don't.
Rod
who matters? Wilmer Flores.
There's no one that matters. But every team, like, usually has a guy that's kind of like
the face,
a little bit. Yeah, but
it is weird to see the face be the manager.
And
name another time you can think of that.
I mean, honestly, if we're being real, Kevin Cash.
Kevin Cash is a good one.
Like,
I don't think so.
Not right now, but like
not to the same extent. They've always had like a guy like Price, Shields.
Ozzie Guillen, maybe.
No.
Yeah,
in the later days,
but like for really bad reasons when he was in Chicago. But yeah, that's the last one I could think of.
But also I saw someone say this.
Sorry, what's his name? Bobby Valentine.
Yeah, a little bit.
When he was in Boston that year.
Yeah. But like I saw some.
Sorry, I got one more. Connor,
go ahead because I got a small mini rant about that.
Jim Leland, when Miguel Cabrera was on the team, it was
though their team was loaded. Jim Leland was kind of the guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Buck Showalter in Baltimore.
A little bit, but like Manny Machado, Adam Jones.
Not the same.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So with the Giants, for that 107 win season, whatever it was, that's don't look at that.
I don't know.
Literally,
how to look at it.
name the middle of the order that was supposed to win this division. Name the middle of the Giants order. Oh wait.
Patterson. What?
Yastrzemski?
Like, do you see my point?
I thought you were saying
I'm honestly,
I thought you were like throwing your arms up.
No.
Jock's not a middle of the order guy.
No.
Take him in the middle of our order.
Haniger and Michael Conforto.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Conforto.
Like, go win a division with that as your 2, 3, 4. Like, and 2 starters.
Is Aubrey Huff still there?
And two starters.
You with the Craw Dog though.
Yeah, the Craw Dog was hurt a lot of the time. Like, and you had late night Lamont. It's a fucking joke, but like, really?
Is Pablo Sandoval still there?
Is Angel Pagan still there? Like, he'd fit perfectly with this. But like, you see my point though. It's like,
yeah,
you had 2 rookie catchers in Patrick Bailey and Blake Sable. Like,
wasn't one of them really good?
Bailey was sick.
Bailey was sick, but like, my point is like, 2 rookie catchers. Your 2, 3, 4 was supposed to be Haniger, Conforto, and Peterson, and Haniger was out for basically half the year.
Your starting rotation behind Logan Webb is not good.
It's Logan Webb, Alex Cobb, who did have a good year. But then it was like...
That's a miracle.
Mania, Ross Stripling.
You're throwing so many flyers out. Like, you shouldn't be throwing flyers on your 3-starter. It's arguably your 2-starter. Like, Alex Cobb was probably a flyer.
Yeah, sometimes.
No, he. I think he was there last year and he was good.
Yeah,
he was with the Dodgers. Somebody.
Yeah, but sometimes a flyer. Giants have done flyer. They're the flyer team. Sometimes the flyer turns into Kevin Gausman, or it turns into Sean Manaea.
Yeah,
like,
or it turns into 2023 Ross Stripling.
Yeah,
like it's.
Like,
but
what did you want from Gabe?
Gabe Kapler turned that into what, an 81 win team, I think
They've only been over 500 the one time.
That 107 win.
I swear they had 80 something wins this year.
I think they were like.
I don't think they've been over. They might have been 500, but they weren't.
I think they were 81 this year, or maybe last time before this one.
But like the point is like
79. Sorry, 79 win team this year, and I think they were 81 the other time.
500. Like,
he turned nothing into an 101 win. 100. How many? 107 win team.
I don't think he did. I think
he did a good job.
If we're being serious, look at the amount of guys that had like out of nowhere career resurgences at the mid 30s. Like Posey, Brandon Crawford, Brandon Belt, Evan Longoria. Like, literally that entire team was just like, oh, we're fountain of youth for a season.
Yeah. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that Gabe will come and do that here. But hey, if you're looking for a manager, then it's not a bad option. I think Gabe Kapler is probably the best option available.
I'd go Buck over Gabe. I like Gabe.
Yeah, Buck's also on too.
I think if Ross Atkins doesn't get fired, the best option available is Gabe Kapler.
Yes, you're 100% right, because Buck isn't an option.
No.
So I'm just saying, I don't think it'll happen, but I don't think like getting rid of Schneider and signing Kapler does much, because it's just two guys switching spots, in my opinion.
Why do we like Buck Showalter?
Because
I think he's a good mix of analytical and tactical, like similar to Bochy.
Also just comes off like an asshole, but like the good kind of asshole.
When's
but like I want a guy
a successful team?
Last year.
They sucked in the whole back half of the season. They blew like a 20-game lead.
Yeah, that's not his fault.
They were still like 100. I mean,
was that not his fault?
They were still like
100 games.
They won like 101 games.
Yeah, they had like 90 wins in June.
That's fair, dude.
The Braves went like 80 and 10, and they're down the stretch. I don't know what you want from.
I think the Mets played like maybe like at a 5-win less pace than the Braves the entire second half, and the Braves still got them. The Mets were good.
The Mets were good, but he could not get that thing back on track. Once that train derailed, it kept
they were a shitty 100-win team, because those exist.
I mean, they do.
Yeah, the Baltimore Orioles won 100 games this year. What the fuck you mean those exist?
They aren't a shit team. They are a flawed team.
Didn't the Rays win 100 games last year, year before?
They won 99 this year.
You don't need a starting rotation in the playoffs.
I mean, you need like 3.
You need 3. You need 2. You need 2 and a flyer.
That's just the last 4 seasons for Buck Showalter. Win totals for Buck Showalter in the last 4 years. Right?
Like
so he had this year 75.
Yeah, it's not great.
Last year 101. Okay. They had a good team.
And then how far back
his last year as a manager was in 2018 with the Baltimore Orioles. They won 47 games.
Yeah, they sucked.
That was before that.
If Gabe had that roster, they would have won 27 games too.
I don't know if you can win less than 47 games, man. That's pretty brutal. It's a 290 win percentage.
Do you remember that team?
That was the
Anthony
Dodgers.
Santander was their only hitter.
Yeah,
they got him Rule 5 draft. He never played above A ball.
It's bad.
Wasn't that Chris Davis when he went like over 58 to start the year?
Probably.
That was also the year Manny Machado got traded.
Like the year before that, 2017, 1 year removed from the playoffs when they still had pretty much that whole roster. 75 and 87. The year they made it to the wild card game, they had 89 wins. Year before that, I think they were a playoff team. They were 81 and 81. No, they weren't a playoff team.
Okay, we get the point. Buck Showalter.
I don't remember a time like Buck's cool. He's a name, but I don't really think Buck Showalter's a great manager.
Did you think Bruce Bochy was an amazing manager? Like
Bruce Bochy has 3 rings.
Are you going off hit? How many rings does Buck have?
I don't think he has any.
None.
Really?
I know he did.
But you can make the same argument.
But like, I think it was like the 90s.
Pardon me. Did the Yankees win in 92, 3, 4, or 5?
That was like I feel like that was
not in 92, 3 for sure. 94
that was their dark ages. I believe
there was no winner. 95. No, because they went 79 and 65. What the?
Yeah. So last I've seen, he's not a championship
he was
manager.
ejected twice.
Okay,
he's never won anything, man. I don't know if that's the guy.
But to get back to where we were with the Jays and John Schneider,
right?
And Ross Atkins.
What's Gabe won? Sorry, if we're saying okay,
so but he's also only been a manager for 4 years.
4 years. 4 years.
Like the sample size for Buck Showalter is a hell of a lot bigger.
3, if not 4.
He had 1 in Philly.
San Fran. No, he had 2 in Philly, didn't he?
I think it was 1 or 2 in Philly, and then like 3 in San Fran.
I don't even remember him being the Phillies guy.
No, he had 4. Yeah, because he started in 2020 with the
So he's got 3. You don't count 2020. He had 2 in Philly and 4 now in San Fran.
So 6.
He won 80. He won 80 games with the Phillies, 81 with the Phillies. Then he was 29 and 31 in 2020. Then he had 107, 81, 78. Like he has hovered around 500 for a lot of his managerial career.
Really good at being mediocre.
The Phillies also weren't good in 2018 and 19, were they?
They had Scott Kingery.
Well, okay, but we thought Scott Kingery could maybe be something.
Yeah, but didn't
like they weren't good. None of these teams have ever been good for Gabe Kapler.
I think that was like Michael Franco too in that infield. Like
Odubel Herrera.
Fucking Roman Quinn.
I think that 2017 team gives the 2021 Giants a run for their money just on names.
Can we? I'm like all over the place today.
We were so
yeah, this is slightly Jays related. Can we talk about how Forrest Wall and Kevin Pillar are on that Atlanta Braves playoff roster?
Forrest Wall, man. Forrest Wall's been like 6 years in our minor league system. Could not crack nothing.
I mean,
but I do have a Forrest Wall signed ball. I got that at the Jays game on the last weekend.
I mean, how far do we want to twist the knife with former Blue Jays? How far do we want to do it? How far do we want to do it?
Is I don't know
who's farther back.
Jesse Chavez, is he still pitching somewhere?
I think he's on the Braves.
But
guys, really the 2 biggest elephants in the room.
That's not far back. This is like forward. You said how far back do you want to twist the knife?
No, I said how far. Okay, I meant how far in.
You said how far back do you want to go?
How deep do you want to twist this knife?
Who? Oh, Travis d'Arnaud.
Travis d'Arnaud, former prospect, but Blue Jay.
Trying to think of who else.
There's Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Gabriel Moreno, but
never heard of him.
No, never heard of him.
Never heard.
Some well-known slapdicks, as Blake Snow would say. Like,
I don't know. I didn't think of that earlier. You know what? We're gonna use that because the success of Gabby Moreno in the postseason has sparked a lot of conversation.
And I, for one, am not backing down from my opinion on Twitter. That's somehow getting roasted.
What's your opinion on Twitter?
My opinion was Alejandro Kirk. I don't blame Varsho for this. I don't blame Varsho.
Blame Kirk. No, you're right.
I blame Kirk.
No, I think that's stupid because
I think you're right.
Oh, you're saying no. Never mind.
Like, don't attack Varsho.
Yeah.
Be like Kirk.
Varsho came and did exactly what he's supposed to do.
He was really good at defending, and he hit 20 bombs.
He could have hit for a little more power and a little more average.
A little, yeah. But he was the best defensive outfielder in baseball, arguably.
Yeah. I mean, hey, yeah, he wasn't great offensively, but like if he's your 9-hitter all season, you don't care. If Kevin Kiermaier's on in this team, like you're still being like, okay, you know what, we'll take it from Dalton Varsho. I think that was good. But the fact that Alejandro Kirk forgot how to hit for 78% of the season, that's what hurts this trade. Because the whole reason you got rid of Gabby was because you had Kirk to do that.
I thought you were meaning they should have traded Kirk instead of Gabby, and I was going to say I don't think you would have got Varsho for Kirk.
You might not have got Varsho.
Probably not.
Like, shit, go down a rung. You might have got Alec Thomas. Like,
I don't know if you would have got. I Alec Thomas was right up there too. I don't know if he would have. I don't think Kirk had that much value.
I think on the rung of the 4 Diamondbacks outfielders, I think like it went Carroll, I think then it goes Varsho and then Thomas McCarthy. Like of those
I think
4,
realistically,
you could have got Thomas or McCarthy.
We didn't have to make a trade with the Diamondback.
No,
Some dumbass team would have valued Kirk pretty highly.
I don't think so because I'm sure
there's a bunch of idiots on Twitter that have been arguing with Connor that still seem to value Kirk super highly, and I don't
because he was an all-star catcher. He's really good at defense, which is like
don't give a shit. He's good at framing. That's not going to matter.
I mean, no. To his credit, he does block. He does block
because he takes up the whole thing.
He doesn't block. Are you fucked? Danny Jansen blocks.
Him and Danny Jansen.
Kirk just gets hit by a ball. There's a difference.
I think they lead the league in like.
Dude, he's on one knee. You cannot block on one knee. I'm not trying to sound like Buck Martinez, but like that's the only way you can block on one knee is if you are that wide.
Yeah,
because otherwise you can't. You can't move laterally at all.
Man, like it's just.
I've been anti-Kirk for a long time.
We had the whole thing of like Gabby being like, "Is the power gonna be there?"
Oh, it's there apparently.
It's fucking there apparently.
But also,
like
just look at the trade. Just the players involved in the trade. Like leave out Kirk for now. Honestly, it's really a win-win trade. Both teams
I think so.
Got what they wanted.
I think
got what they needed.
Right.
I think
if Kirk performs, it's not even a question. I don't think of this trade at all. I don't even think it needs to be a 1-for-1. Like, what's his name? Gurriel really, I don't think he added that much value. I think it was kind of like, hey, we're not going to have a roster spot for him. He's contract's coming up. And also look at what he was last year. He wasn't fuck all.
No. And he realistically, for a lot of this season, he really wasn't special either. He had a couple of good months.
I mean, he like the first half of the year, he was fucking him. He was unstoppable.
He was Lourdes Gurriel.
He got hot for a few months and then went ice cold.
I mean, let me look at his splits because
it's just he had like an OPS over 1,000 for the first like 2 months.
Okay.
And I think he finished with like a 7.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go through the OPSs by month. April 716. May 1130. June 625. July 480. OPS. August 845. September 809. And then in the playoffs right now, he has 1250.
I don't know, man. It's just I don't think that part of I honestly don't think that part of the trade matters at all because it's a rental guy anyway. It's like
Brent, you and I have had this conversation about 10 times. Gabby wasn't getting the run of playing time.
Where are you going to play him?
You had to trade one of the 3 of them.
Yeah. Also, side note, I'd just like to point out how many home runs do you guys think Florida's had this year?
Where do you 25 think, or something?
Where do you think he'd be on the team? He'd be fucking second on this current team in home runs. On this current Blue Jays team in home runs.
Yeah. So would a lot of people though.
So would honestly. A lot of people. But like the thing is, like
Yeah, I know.
Okay, speaking of leading in home runs and stuff, this is gonna go into some way. Back on the Blue Jays. Did you guys hear the report about a certain player on the team that fucking apparently just doesn't take shit seriously?
No.
Our franchise guy?
Our franchise guy.
Yes. Did you hear? Was it Ben Nicholson-Smith talking?
Ben Nicholson-Smith. Yeah.
Ben Arden.
And
I think it was. Was it?
It was at the letters.
One of the Bens was talking, and
it was Arden.
Was it Arden?
Arden to Ben on at the
letters. Essentially,
someone was talking, and
it was the 8th.
Basically, he was saying it was the 8th inning. They had the mound visit,
which they would have cut to commercial or something.
You look at the people that are there, and obviously Kirk comes out. And Bo's there, and Chappie's there, and Cav's there. Who's the one guy that's not there? It's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. What's he doing? He's yucking it up with fucking Carlos Correa and the Twins bench.
I hate that we both said yucking it up at the same time. I hate
it's the way to do it. It's like, what it is.
Like,
I really hope that Vladdy getting thrown out at second hurts him a lot because I need him to go into this offseason and figure it the fuck out.
He's already committed to staying in Dunedin again.
Good.
I need him to
bust your ass.
Work as hard as you did pre-2021.
Before 2021. Like
if you like
I'm not at the point here where it's just like, oh, well, he's still our guy. Like he made a mistake. No, fuck that. This is your mistake. Own it. Go do work, man. Like I know a lot of people kind of like put that second on the list of things because obviously the Berrios situation happened and it kind of put everything in the back seat.
The
But what
Berrios
Vlad
situation
did
didn't really affect the game.
It didn't
Like
affect the game.
in the long run, we didn't score, so it didn't matter.
No.
That situation,
what Vlad did
our best
legitimately
hitter there-
changed the entire game.
our best hitter there, runners on second and third.
Yeah,
It's like
stupidity. Like I hope he takes that to heart and realizes that you are the reason. You are the reason we didn't play another day.
I watch Overdrive, and Brian Hayes said something that I genuinely can't disagree with. That pickoff is one of the dumbest fucking plays in franchise history.
Yep.
Like
stupid. Like fair, there's no reason to get picked off there.
No, there's not. But to be fair, apparently it was super loud in there, and
sure,
he's not like going to be able to hear Correa sneaking behind him.
No,
he's trying to get. I'm playing devil's advocate for half a second. He is trying to get big so that he can score.
Then get big on your secondary.
Yeah,
it's a 2-strike count.
It was a full count.
Yeah.
I know.
Stand on the bag until the pitch and then take off for all I care.
I don't necessarily agree with what I said, but like that's the devil's advocate of it, and you can kind of see the point of it.
I get it. Big. Yeah, no, for sure. It's a tough.
You got to be smarter about it, though.
But you can't let that happen.
You know where the Jays ranked in like run value added or whatever, or like base running, essentially?
Bottom half, probably.
Yeah, 29th.
Right above the A's.
Attention to detail,
Couldn't
boys.
tell you.
Yeah, that's so funny looking back. I don't need devil's advocate on Vlad right now. I need him to know that this is his fault. He made a mistake. Go be better. We're not paying. You're not getting paid to go and do this again. He needs to put in some sort of work. The whole Vlad's lazy thing is ridiculous. I don't know how we got to that. I think Vlad's dumb as a baseball player sometimes, and I think he makes a lot of mistakes. But to say Vlad's lazy is kind of just a dumb argument. Like he puts in the work.
I think he's been lazy at times, though. Looked at him during COVID; he was lazy. Like the results aren't there, and it seems like it's laziness the past couple of years that have kept him from being. He's a good ball player. He's a fine ball player, but he's got the potential to be great to elite. And
I think he needs to find focus. Is his main issue? Is he kind of gets a little out of the baseball side of things and he starts getting friendlier and doing all that. I think that's when you lose Vlad a little bit. I think if he buckles down, actually puts in the work in the offseason. I'm seeing a lot of people being like, oh, he needs to lose weight. I don't give a shit if he loses a pound. It does not make a difference to me. I think you need to refine your approach at the plate. You need to figure out how to consistently put the ball in the air. I think that's all of what it is. And then you need to limit all the mental mistakes. Find a way to keep yourself mentally in a game for 9 innings every single day, 162 times a year. And then stop playing first because you fucking suck. So bad, man. So fucking bad at first base. I can't watch him play first anymore.
I fucking hate. I hate that team.
You're not wrong.
Well, I can't say my team anymore. It's that team.
But like, I've been going back and forth. I think they got to sign Bo long term this offseason. And I think Vladdy too, to some extent. But if Vladdy's willing to go to sign for the number that he's playing closer to right now than the number that he could be, I'm signing him long term 100%.
Sure.
But if he wants the number that he could be, then it's like
his projected ARB for this year is 20.73 or something like that. ARB.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's how you come in. You played when you came in. You're not losing ever.
It's what it's tough to be like, well, maybe we sign him long term for what his value is now, but his value is not, regardless of how he's playing now, he's not taking less than 25.
I'm saying if he's playing closer to a 20 player, even a 25, if he wants 25 a year for like 6 years, I'm doing that. I'm not even thinking about it, and I'm doing that.
Is the last 2 years of Vladimir Guerrero worth $25 million?
No, probably not.
I don't think so.
I think it's like 20.
But I would say it's 20.
Well, someone
and
thinks it's 20.
I would risk 5 million to see if
he can come back
other level, not
where
even necessarily where he was in 21, but even if that other level's in there.
Sure.
We just need a fucking middle ground between 21 and like 22.
Yeah.
But since we're kind of on the subject of off season, we got a lot of free agents, and from the sound of things, fucking none of them are coming back.
He apparently backpedaled after saying that, but
I don't give a shit. He's not signing anyway. You can backpedal all he wants.
Quick poll of the room here. Mark Shapiro is scheduled to speak tomorrow. Not sure exactly what time. Does Ross Atkins have a job after tomorrow?
Yes.
I think so.
I just don't. I don't. Do I believe he should? No. Do I think he does? Yes. And I don't understand why, because
I don't think he does. I think this is bigger than just Toronto to this point. This is like in the States. Like, this is the talk of sports radio and sports television. Like, this is the talk of the sport right now.
I hate to bring
this. What he said.
I hate to bring
in his press conference, bro.
And throwing the manager under the bus. And then he
to flat out lie about it too, man.
And then he's throwing, like, I'm assuming it's him throwing Click under the bus too.
Someone's feeding something, and
he also threw someone else under the bus. In an article produced by the Toronto Sun, Atkins said something about Manoah receiving injections on his shoulder. Said, quote, "It was his decision. We supported him. He made the decision on his own to move in that direction. There was no structural issues."
Well, that wouldn't make sense. You kind of got to save face.
But it's like, dude.
I just I don't even remember who tweeted it out, but they said something along the lines of the fact that there is nobody on Ross Atkins' side. This is the first time, I think, ever where there's nobody on Ross Atkins' side.
I don't think he has a job. And you've got James Click sitting there, and honestly, you are going to lose James Click probably this offseason if we don't give him that role. Look at AA. He left here. I think he took a year off. Then he went to the Dodgers. I think he took a year off.
That year off, he went to the Dodgers. He was about halfway through.
Oh, partway through. And then anyways, then I think he was with the Dodgers for a full year, went to Atlanta, and like,
you see what's happening.
Let's be fair.
Is a very good general manager, in my opinion. He did a lot with that Houston Astros team, and I think he would be very good here.
I think James Click is a better guy for the job than Ross Atkins. I'm with you.
100%.
Sure. Let's kind of backtrack to AA for a second. Alex Anthopoulos was handed a Ferrari when he got to Atlanta. Like, everyone's talking about how Alex Anthopoulos went and made this championship pedigree team in Atlanta.
Didn't he?
He was handed so many guys. Yeah, he signed the extensions, which I don't know how he did that. That's the only thing I'll give him credit for. But he didn't build this team. Like, this team, he was handed Freddie Freeman among that team that had Albies and Acuna, and Riley was there.
Ozuna from the Braves?
Ozuna from the Braves. Dan's was there.
Oh, yeah. He was handed a great team. Fried. I think he signed Chucky Morton, but Fried Soroka. He was handed a great team. But, like,
so, like, let's not pretend like AA could have built a team anywhere else he went. He just
but guys get handed great teams
and don't do anything with it. Sure.
No, and then they can't keep everyone there. He's somehow figured out how to do that. I think that's
a miracle.
He's kept a lot of them there, and the guys that he didn't keep, I'll just replace.
Yeah,
and he's replaced them with better players.
Freddie Freeman, gone. Matt Olson, hi. Like,
Matt Olson's not.
I don't need. He's not better, but it's like you got 54 home runs and 135 RBI. The guy.
I think
he's still as good, but
you could argue the offensive stuff. Okay. Yes, Freddie's better, but Ole's better defensively. So
it's not a far enough.
Platinum Glover.
It's not a far enough.
I got a platinum glove.
He also replaced Dan's with Orlando Arcia.
Well, Orlando Arcia was already there, and Orlando Arcia just said, "Fuck it, I'm an all-star now."
Yeah, he said a lot.
Yeah, he's attaboy.
he was loving the look of his shoes when Harper was coming around second both times. He,
Man,
I don't
I don't want to
know what
stray
he
too
saw
far. We'll
down
talk
there,
about the
but
Phillies in a bit, but I don't want to stray too far away from Ross Atkins because I think we need to give more shit to that idiot for a while.
yeah, but
I think it's the most spineless thing I've ever seen to come out. Like, we all know where the decision was made for the Jose Berrios move.
I will say this. He's probably the way he's gonna come out is be like, oh well, we technically didn't make the decision. It was John
Right.
Schneider.
He was
Because
in the
you're right.
dugout
You
and he walked
technically
out there and
didn't.
did it.
You didn't go out there from your suite.
Hmm.
So technically, yes, it was Schneider.
Hmm.
And then
Now-
I did you hear? Apparently, he said basically like ask Schneider if you have any questions, and Schneider's been radio silent.
I would be.
why is this?
Let this
giving me-
soak. If you're John Schneider, you have no reason to speak right now. Let this shit soak for Ross Atkins. Like, he just had this. If I'm Mark
Oh, yeah.
Shapiro, I don't speak right now. Let that soak for a little bit. Like, he just said all of this stupid shit in a press conference.
I was listening.
Sorry, dude.
So I listened to Blair and Barker today, and they had a caller. It was another sports writer or something they had on the line, and he's like, "Okay, you get in that scrum. The first thing you have to ask is, did you guys talk about what Ross was gonna say? Because if not, you guys are the like fucking dumbest front office ever. And if you did, you're the dumbest front office ever. Like, what
is it with-
Why was that what you came up with?
Brant, I know you're gonna know this probably better than Nate because
Mm.
Nate doesn't follow that team. But why is this ringing so hard? Kyle Dubas, Brendan Shanahan from this.
It's the
past 2 months?
glasses too.
It's the fucking same thing.
Right down to like
your
the
GM
analytical.
Your analytical GM basically comes out and says, "Oh well, you know, some things might happen, some things might not happen," and then a couple days later, the higher up is like, great.
Yeah, you just said a lot of shit that
You
the
just scorched earth
president
the
didn't
dude.
like.
I hope that one ends the same.
You kind of also touched on it. Sorry, Stark turn, but you touched on the whole none of our free agents are coming back thing. We all knew that, I think.
I think
I
one.
don't think so.
I think maybe they had a shot at bringing back
there's-
Kiermaier. Brandon Belt wasn't coming
There's
back.
what, 7, 8?
I wouldn't have hated bringing Witt back on a smaller deal, not on the one, not on that player option or team option, I guess. it is.
Watching what Witt did the last little bit, Witt wasn't coming back.
The only one, especially now, he's fucking tearing Schneider a fucking. and
He
he's
was
a
not
new
coming
one.
back as soon as he said something about the Berrios
He's-
situation.
he
He was
fucking went-
gone.
He went on foul territory today, and he's like, "Oh, it's a shame that we did that.
Yeah.
It's a shame." Like,
Did you
he's
hear what
not-
he said about Atkins' press conference? Because he got asked about it, and he goes, "What are we talking about here?" He goes, "The press conference." He goes, "There was a press conference." I don't know. I'm like,
dude,
he's
we
so
got-
gone. He's been
there's-
gone.
There's Chapman, Kiermaier, Ryu, Belt, Hicks,
Green.
Green. Am I missing someone?
Now,
Do you want to count like Jay Jackson?
I'm not like of the main of these main 7, over under 2.5 coming back.
under.
I think Green is kind of.
I think they offer a contract to Ryu.
I wouldn't.
they give Chappie the qualifying. I think regardless.
Honestly, yes, but I think you have to think a lot harder about doing it than.
I think you hope he declines it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to pay him $20 million.
Now,
Yeah,
when I could be wrong, but I think his direct quote from the press conference was, "It's going to be tough to lose Belt, Chapman and Kiermaier." I don't think he said we're not going to get any of our free agents back. And like, I think that was a given. I don't think that I don't want Matt Chapman back.
Brandon Belt's probably retiring. Like
Brandon Belt's probably gone. And if he comes back, I doubt it's coming back to Toronto.
and everything I keep hearing about Jordan Hicks, he's not back.
I want to get to Jordan Hicks in a second too.
But
But Kevin Kiermaier, I think, was the only one that they maybe had a shot at, but he came out and said he'd rather play on grass than turf. We're not putting grass in this renovation.
He said this last year, like even.
Yeah, and they still came back, I guess.
But he still came here. But like,
I think those 3 were a given, and like I don't think that changed anything. The one that for me was the Jordan Hicks one, where it came out that apparently there's no they liked what the trade and they liked what Jordan Hicks did, but they don't think he's a fit here. What
How?
the fuck are we
I don't
talking
know what that
about?
means.
What
That,
the
that
fuck
doesn't.
are we talking about?
You could literally replace Jordan Hicks with any other player, and you could do that, like, and just be like, you still don't know what it means.
I don't
Like,
understand. I don't get why
he's-
Jordan Hicks, who was arguably your best reliever in the last few weeks,
ever since he got here, you can make the argument he's been the best.
You know,
yes.
You know where this makes sense?
Hmm?
Anywhere else on the roster other than the bullpen.
Sure.
The bullpen, you just want good relievers.
Sure, I don't care if he's
fit for.
He sits out in the others. He doesn't even sit in the dugout. He sits way the fuck out there. Who cares?
Like
He
we
sits
can
in the
say,
dugout,
we can
weirdos.
say Teo and Lourdes didn't fit
Oh.
last year. That's why we needed to change. You can say some of those Dodgers teams when they had 4 lefty starters, this guy didn't fit. We needed more righties, stuff like that.
This guy doesn't fit. He throws too hard.
Guy doesn't fit.
That's what we're doing right now.
He doesn't have swing and miss. Like
he has too much swing and miss. Like he's too good at striking guys out. Is that what we're saying? Is he's not a good fit?
Like
there was someone, I know who it is, but I'm not. They're a decent person, so I'm not going to say who it was. But they quote tweeted one of them and said, Jordan Hicks was one of the only people I've ever seen that doesn't sign for fans when he comes out of games and doesn't take pictures and blah blah. He doesn't fucking have to. That doesn't. Like, my big thing with like waiting around for players after they come out their players entrance or exit, they have to exit the building somehow. They want to go home. If you're at work after a long day, especially after a loss, and someone comes up to you and just wants to talk to you, I want to go fucking home. I don't want to talk to you. I don't have to talk to you. I have no reason to. I'm at work. I'm going home from work. There's no reason for Jordan Hicks to have to do that shit. It doesn't matter. That doesn't change his fit on this team or what he is as a person.
I think yes, to an extent. I think those are two different things. I think that kind of sucks if you like never do it. I think you also, I get it. It is your job, yes, but you're playing a game that everyone loves to play, and you're making millions of dollars doing it. Like you can interact with the fans. That is also kind of what you're getting paid for. Like
so
it's a business. It's a
these
show.
These guys come out like an hour and a half to 2 hours after games.
No, I get
people
that.
sit there for an hour.
I get it. I'm just
weird.
saying, it is weird.
Like I don't owe you that. Like you're like it's like waiting. Like someone's gonna be at this spot, and you're waiting outside their door for them. Like it's like going to someone's house and waiting for them to walk out and be like, "Oh, I ran into you. Hi." Like no, you stalked this door to see me. Like I find it weird personally. I wouldn't. There's times when maybe you sign, but when you're sitting there after a loss or after something like that,
I'm saying more so like on the field and shit. I guess.
Sure, in the stadium,
or
if
like
you're trying to get
one or two afterwards,
go sign. I don't like it after games. I don't think that has anything to do with
waiting around for like an hour. I don't think that has to do with what he has as a person or a fit for this team.
Absolutely nothing.
His fit is he blows too much ched, and the Jays never fucking have guys that do that. So
he throws too hard to be a Blue Jay. He set way too many velocity records this year. I don't know, man. I don't know how you can look at Jordan Hicks and not think he's a good fit. The money, sure. If he gets like a shit ton of cash this year, then yeah, it's tough to justify that.
I think he's the best reliever on the market, isn't he?
If it comes out that he makes like 3 years, like $36 million at some other team,
I would have gave him that.
I would have fucking given that to him. Like,
yeah.
But I'm thinking like 3 years, 60 million or something stupid.
Fuck no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. We'll get that.
That's Edwin Diaz AAV.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just that is the only reason you don't sign Jordan Hicks is if the money doesn't make sense. But
yeah,
I don't give a shit I don't even care really how he is as a person. You barely see the guy.
I mean, clearly baseball, we don't care about how people are off the field. No. Unless you make it abundantly fucking clear that you're a dickhead. Like
the Braves have Osuna on the team.
Osuna from the Braves.
Like
it doesn't matter if you're a good person.
The Yankees employed Domingo Germán. Aroldis Chapman.
50% of the teams remaining have a loser on their team.
Aroldis Chapman is on the team that is in the ALCS.
It does not matter. Just win baseball games.
Like, we're not even saying Jordan Hicks.
If Jordan Hicks helps you win baseball games, re-sign Jordan Hicks. I don't get it.
Like, the only one that's back is Chad Green, right? Are we in agreement?
I don't even know if it's Chad Green, man.
I would like Chad Green back, especially if you're losing Hicks. I don't think you can really afford to lose both of them. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's particularly much depth out there, and I would very much like the bullpen to be similar to last year.
Mm-hmm. And I think, and as far as the offense goes, you have to replace a second baseman, a DH, a third baseman, and an outfielder.
Yeah.
Do you have to replace the second baseman? I don't think so.
I don't think.
Like, I think you can upgrade a second baseman, but
think,
you don't have to replace one.
Okay, yeah.
I think you do. I think his role.
But you're
on
upgrading.
This team,
you're not.
Upgrade, not.
I think his role on this team is much better suited as the super utility guy.
Which I'm
not.
I agree.
Playing every day.
I agree. But I think.
No, but I'm just saying, just in general, like, you're not like if Whit Merrifield walks out the door right now, like, I don't think you need to replace him. You have guys that can fill that role. But I think you would like to upgrade over the guys that you have. I think you genuinely need to replace an outfielder.
And a third baseman.
And you genuinely need to replace a third baseman. I don't think you need to replace your second baseman, but you can use that spot to upgrade because you have 3 first basemen on the roster.
Or 3 guys.
Dante, Cav, and Schneider.
You second baseman?
What did I say? First baseman? Sorry, second baseman. My bad.
You said first baseman. But you have 3.
Yeah, you have 3 guys that can play that spot currently on the roster.
And 3 guys that you kind of don't want anywhere else in the infield, really.
I would argue Cav made a point that he could play a couple of spots, but
he's not every day.
I'm saying left
not
side.
every day.
You don't want them on the left side.
He played a pretty good third base.
You don't want them on the left side.
You don't want them there, but he played a pretty good third base.
He can do it as your super utility guy.
Yeah,
I'm saying he can't do it.
He's not going to come in and play Matt Chapman innings at third base. You're right.
But the big issue is I think the only place that you can go you can't make a free agent signing wise is DH and outfield. Because I don't think you can sign a third baseman. There's not many good third basemen out there unless you're going for Matt Chapman again or Candelario. Like,
it's just not it.
Honestly, I'd bring both Barger and Arelvis to camp and give them the full run at third base because both of them
good luck, gentlemen.
Have the pop. Both of them are athletes. They're gamers. They're both young.
Give them the major league innings, like the first few, and say, here's major league pitching. One of you steal this job.
Okay, so who is the one player that you want the Blue Jays to sign, and why is it Jorge Soler?
Because we need homers.
I don't think it is.
Let me take a look.
I would much rather Adam Duvall or Hunter Renfroe personally. They both play above average defense, can both play center field, and
I'm so done with defense, man. I gotta be honest.
No, I understand that, but like
I know it makes sense.
What is the downgrade? What is the downgrade in pop from Soler to Duvall and Renfroe tier? I don't think it's that much.
I think Soler is in a fuck around I could hit 50 tier.
That's the one I want.
And I think Duvall and Renfroe are like, on a good year, we'll give you 35.
Sorry, wait, rewind.
I don't think Soler could ever hit 50.
He did like 2 years ago or 3.
Yeah. You asked who I want.
Yes.
It is not Jorge Soler, it's Shohei Ohtani.
Okay. Well, can we
but realistically who I want?
Please.
Fine. But if I'm the Blue Jays and I'm owned by one of the biggest companies in the country and just an absolute money powerhouse, I think you're an idiot if you're not trying to get in the Shohei Ohtani market.
Especially, you know why? Because you are the broadcaster for this asset.
You are raising ticket prices and you need to find a way to fill all of those seats every single night in a place like Toronto that is so multicultural. Maybe we bring in the biggest Japanese athlete we've ever seen. Maybe the biggest baseball player we've ever seen. Definitely the biggest baseball player. I don't even know why I put a maybe on that. The biggest star in baseball history. Like, you will make your money back on Shohei Ohtani 100%. Just, you don't have to win. I don't care if they come home with Shohei Ohtani, but if you're not in the mix for Shohei Ohtani, I think you're a fucking idiot.
Yep.
That goes for a lot of teams at the top. It's not just the Jays, but
the part that stalls me, I don't know, Ohtani, is what's he going to want? 40 to 50?
Probably.
A year?
Like, if it's 40 here.
But like part of me is like, I could go sign 2 guys at 20 mil a year AAV for a couple of years. Like,
yeah, but are either of them going to do anything on either side of the ball as well as Shohei Ohtani?
Well, next year, what's Shohei doing?
Nothing
pitching.
on the
Just kidding.
pitching side, sure.
Are we
So 1
guaranteed
year?
that he's going to come back from a second Tommy John?
And
Did once.
And another thing is though, if
I'm
He
just-
didn't get
I-
Tommy John either. He got some weird
if
surgery.
he's only DHing next year, again, that takes out a DH spot, like for
And
anybody
that's
else
fine.
on your team.
Fine.
So like, we're just
Fine.
about that a little bit.
Fine. I don't care. It's Shohei Ohtani, dude. The guy put up MVP numbers in without a month and a half. Just straight up on the offensive side of the ball.
Very true.
But you could get this. You could get the same production from two guys. I think you could get more value.
That's
from
two guys.
Well,
What are you, Peter Brand? We don't need two guys. I want one.
Shut up.
because you could sign two players and get more value
We recreate them
for the same money.
For the same amount of money
Yes.
that you could probably sign like Adam Duvall and Jorge Soler, both
Mm.
of them you could get
Mm.
the same price for Ohtani.
And
Like,
how many of them are going to be your number one starter in 2 years?
Well, that's I wouldn't get both of them. I also don't know,
but
if you
like
need a pitcher right now, which kind of works since he's
You
hurt
don't,
this year. But
you don't, which is kind of
I don't know. I'm iffy on it because I don't fully trust his health again going forward pitching wise. I think he could. There's a chance he's just a bat. If you could get an option in there or like milestones that he has to hit pitching wise or something or like stuff like that, I'm 100% in. And then I'm throwing the whole bag at him. But I don't want to be stuck with a $50 million player who just hits and is probably by that point in his career just a DH.
Yeah.
I'm
still throwing it all at him.
I'm just gonna throw this out right now.
Hmm?
If you could give me a percentage, like between 1 and 100,
Mhm.
chance of a reunion with one of the two outfielders.
Which, sorry.
One of Lourdes or Teo.
Teo, I'd give you probably above 65. I want to say in the 70 range, but I don't know if it's that high. But there was very clearly interest in him at the deadline. So if you can go and try and get him on like a 1 year prove it deal type of thing, then I think, because if you come back here and you see the numbers you put up in Toronto and you go, hey, if I hit 38 in Toronto this year, I can get more money next year.
And there's your protection for Vlad.
Right. And I think that, like, I think there's interest in having him on this team again. Lourdes, I don't think I think you're
Lourdes,
looking
I think
at
it's like
20,
15, 20%.
Yeah.
I think
Like, I don't think they're
like
in that much.
35% for either of them.
I think
don't
the odds are
think-
way higher that you're bringing
I
in Teoscar.
don't think Teo. I understand what you're
just-
saying. I
they
understand
showed
what you're
way
saying
too
about
much interest in
at
him
the
to
time.
not
Yeah,
try and
let
get
me
him back.
fucking finish.
No.
They showed interest in him at the time when you still had Kevin Kiermaier. And you
Mhm.
had DH at bats open. You had lefty at bats in the outfield open.
Sure.
He was going to be your primary DH, and you had a defense first outfielder out there.
Sure.
I think with Kiermaier gone, I think they want the bat to also be able to play the field. I
just
want the
want the
bat to
bat.
be able to play the field. I
just
want two
the
bats.
bat.
I want a DH bat and I want an outfield bat. So I need a bat that can play defense.
I just want the bat. I don't care. I don't even care if he plays an inning in the field. You move Varsho
need
into
two
center and you
bats.
find someone that can also fill
You
that left
need
field spot.
two bats.
Go
is
after-
what I'm saying.
Go after.
If he is
You're
coming
not paying
just in the outfield, I hate that.
Sorry, my mic cut it.
That's fine. You finally shut up for once.
I didn't hear what you said though. I think you don't give Teoscar that much money, and you fill that left field spot with this bat that you want so badly that can also play defense.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if he comes in as your DH, I'm fine with it. It's almost
Sure.
like this
Is that what you said?
exactly
Is that what you
Connor.
said? Okay.
Yeah.
See, I didn't hear you, man. My
Pretty
mic
well
cut
word
out.
for word.
Sorry, I laughed at multiple things there. That and I just completely off the knot on the sport of baseball. Do you guys want to know the score in the Leaf game and Habs game? It's fucking 5-5. It was 5-3 like a minute ago for the Habs.
Bruh, I bet on the Leafs. I fucking hate the Leafs. I bet on motherfucking Leafs because I was like, this is a gimme. We suck. I parlayed it with the Phillies.
Okay.
I'm ready to go.
This is fair. Yeah. Do we have any other do we want to say just some words of thank you to like guys that left? Kevin Kiermaier, love you. Go do stuff.
Kevin
Wait,
Kiermaier,
so
severely
you guys-
underrated.
Do you guys think Ross will have a job after tomorrow? You both said yes.
I think if there's okay, you know what? The more that we've been talking, I think if I'm going to put a percentage on it, I think I'm like 65, 70. He's still in position.
I'm like 50-50, maybe 45, like 55 to no, but I'm
You
like
could
right in the fence.
you could convince me that it's 50-50, but I'm leaning that there's a 65 to 70% chance that he's here.
Yeah, like
I think there's a 65 to 70% chance that he's here come opening day too. Like not just
yeah, not just
not
If
before or after the press conference. Like I think coming into
if
opening day.
he is here after the press conference and not here opening day,
Mhm.
fucking fire Shapiro.
Shapiro. Like, what are we doing there? Like,
Well, there's no decisions to be made until
no, there
After
is.
the World Series.
December.
But they're like, you can make coaching hires.
Sure, but you're not.
Speaking of
You
coaching
can fire
hires,
your coach in December.
Yeah, but you're missing
Like-
out on the guys who signed already.
Yeah, I guess.
Speaking of coaching, just for a second, because this is hilarious.
Mm.
Did you hear about all the Red Sox stuff? They fired like everyone.
No.
Oh, they fired
And,
the pitching coach. Like,
Yeah, and the translator.
oh yeah, Masataka Yoshida's translator.
He wasn't translating the messages as clearly as they wanted to Yoshida, so they fired the translator.
What did he do?
That makes no sense. Like, I guess it was like, yo, tell Masa to get the guy over from second, and then the translator's like, just hit the ground ball to second.
Something about second. I don't
Something
know,
about
bro.
second.
Just
like,
go ahead. Do you,
Like,
bro?
what?
Do you?
how bad was the translator that this is an issue?
We had such a
Like-
bad season. We fired the translator.
Has any team ever done that
no.
before?
No,
Like, not
there's no way.
like fire.
I thought,
Trade
honestly,
the guy and get rid of the translator, but like
Honestly,
just straight up
I
fire the
thought-
translator.
I thought that like the translator was just kind of his buddy that could throw batting practice.
Yeah,
I feel like it is. Like,
Isn't that what most of the translators
It
do
should be.
nowadays?
I don't
They
know
throw
how get
BP
in. It's
And they're
weird.
like seem like they're good buddies with the
yeah, like
The
think
player.
about like how what is it, Tito? Like, what does Tito do on the team other than hang out with Vlad and Santi? And then, like,
yeah, he's just a dog.
he probably does
Yusuke
something.
does the same shit. He just hangs out with Shohei all the time. I
Probably
just
does
Ipe.
something.
Ipe is like just good friends with Shohei.
they're like brothers. They like do everything together.
Yeah, like so. Did they just give Masataka a dude named like James, and it's like, I'm
He's
third.
got his PhD.
Hey,
in-
bro.
Oh, dude,
I don't
I went to a
I don't
Boston
speak
college. Like,
Japanese, but go hit the ball.
I went to Boston. Went to Boston College. Like, my grandma knows Japanese, but like, yeah,
Go Red Sox.
Go, go Red Sox. Oh man.
Masa.
I did a summer abroad. I'm gonna go.
So all right, I'm gonna slightly pull back my Jorge Soler statement about him hitting 50.
Yeah, he hit 40.
His best year was 48, and that was the juice ball.
Oh, that's
2019.
close.
Like, it was juice ball. But then after that, this year he had 36.
okay.
Go Duval and Renfro because both of
I
them
think
I think have
Duvall-
over 40 seasons.
I just don't
Like,
have.
a person that I
Duval
would,
doesn't get me out of bed in the morning. I'm sorry.
and no, none of these free agents are gonna get you out of bed.
No, but
Right, none of them.
Soler because
Yeah,
Soler does not
Cody
believe.
Bellinger
Cody, there's
would
three.
get me out of the bed.
Shohei, Bellinger,
say-
and like
Or so Jesus.
Aaron Nola. Like those
Sho-
are the
Aaron Nola gets my fucking dick hard. Those Phillies get me going.
Shohei Ohtani keeps me out of bed like night and day. Doesn't even have to get me up in the morning.
So you're saying Shohei Ohtani makes you 6 feet standing up, 7 feet laying down?
Yeah. Yes, that's exactly what it does.
Uh,
That's the guy.
so
Just think about it.
so we just as of the time of this recording, Battle of Texas for the ALCS.
Did they win yet?
Yeah,
It's over.
It was over. Astros, Rangers in the ALCS. Rangers in 5.
I fucking hate the AL so much.
You think the Rangers in 5?
5?
You
know
fucking
what's
heard me.
You know it's a 7-game
it's
series,
7.
right?
You heard me. That's a wagon.
No, it's
So-
not. They just
so
played this
wagon.
shitty
They just
team.
ran into
Hey, they are
broken
team-
down golf carts.
They are 2021 Blue Jays-ing this.
No, they're not.
Out hitting
You know
all
who
their
they're running
issues.
out game 1. You know who they're out running out game 1?
Andrew Heaney.
No,
John Gray.
no.
Who
Max
just
Scherzer.
pitched?
It was the
Yeah, I would put money on it that Max Scherzer is starting game 1.
you know what? Big Dick Max.
I'm not concerned about some of their starting rotation because they've looked okay, That bullpen, dude,
I'm
is
concerned
not
about their
good.
starting rotation against the Astros lineup.
Yeah, this is a very different situation here.
I ride and die with this team now. Fuck the Jays.
Okay.
Fuck the Jays.
I
sit with the Capitals.
I can't. I don't think it's gonna be close. Personally,
I was gonna say, Nate, have we officially have you abandoned ship as a Jays fan?
No.
Officially? Okay.
No, I can't. I can't see
they
the
just
Rangers
really piss me
actually.
off.
I gotta be honest. I don't know what the Rangers do to win a series against this current Astros team.
Like their
Like they are on
rotation's worse, their bullpen's worse, their lineups worse.
I would say their lineup bare minimum on par. I think
I would take
better.
every aspect of the Astros over Texas.
The Texas lineup's kind of banging right now. Corey Seager's taking walks.
Who the fuck is the 8? Who is the 8 and 9 hitter in the 7? Who's the last 4 hitters in the Astros
Mauricio Dubon.
Chas McCormick, Mauricio Dubon.
Don't you dare put disrespect on Chas McCormick's name. That guy's
Maldonado.
I'm taking Martin Maldonado's defense over whatever you're getting production wise from Heim.
Martin Maldonado sucks. That's the one thing I will admit. Don't
offensively,
you dare disrespect Chas McCormick, though.
The way he deals with that rotation, though, like he is
do this right now.
He is so good behind the dish.
Do we have to go position for position?
Don't you dare disrespect.
Sure. Let's go through the rotation.
Let's
start with the rotation and then go to the bullpen.
No,
and then we'll see if you want to keep going.
No. There's maybe one of the 9. Actually, no, 2, maybe 2. 2 of the 9 Astros that I would take over any position player in the Texas.
Which team has the World Series MVP of last year?
Which one has the World Series MVP of 2020?
I don't care about 2020. That doesn't count. It doesn't count.
What?
It doesn't count. Nothing happened. Nothing happened in 2020.
Who has the World Series MVP?
Seager was the World Series MVP.
Yeah, you know where he did that in? Fucking Texas.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That World Series was in Texas. Remember?
No.
2020. They
played in right. They played in like weird spots.
He played in Texas.
Maybe that's why he went to Texas. That makes sense. Last year's World Series MVP.
Let's actually go through this because, like,
you know what? I'm taking Jonah Heim over Martin Maldonado.
I love Heim, but I'm taking the defense in the playoff, the defense in games calling, and like just the entire catcher position. I'm taking Maldonado, especially in the playoffs.
Okay, I'm taking Nate Lowe over fucking Jose Abreu.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Jose's banging.
Right now, he is banging.
He's banging, bro.
Right. Okay. Marcus Semien, Jose Altuve. It's a fucking wash.
It's
a wash.
I would call that even.
It's a wash.
I'd call that even. Not in the playoffs though. Semi hasn't looked as good.
Stop.
It's not in the playoffs.
Okay, what's funny? It's a wash.
Semi hasn't looked great in the playoffs.
It's Altuve.
The regular season, it's a wash. Right now, I don't know.
Okay. If you motherfuckers try to say that Jeremy Pena is over Corey Seager,
World Series MVP of last year,
we can just end this podcast right now.
Mr. Pena? No.
We can just end this podcast. I was gonna say, motherfucker, we got.
No, you're good.
Who's Barry Bonds? ALDS. This man walked more times in the DS than Barry Bonds. Literally. Bregman, Josh Young. I will give you Bregman.
Yep.
That's one of the positions I'm giving you. Right field. Kyle Tucker, Noah Garcia.
Kyle Tucker.
More of a wash than you think.
Kyle Tucker.
No.
Overall, Kyle Tucker.
It's a wash, dude.
Are you nuts?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Tucker, bro.
It is not a wash. That's Kyle Tucker.
Okay, center field.
Tucker's going to get down ballot MVP votes.
Yeah,
center field.
Not even that down.
Leota Tavares, Chas McCormick.
Chas McCormick, bro.
That's a wash then.
That's a wash.
You guys need to put some fucking respect on Chas McCormick.
They're both like 8 hitters.
They're both 8.
Have you looked at Chas McCormick in the last like 6 months?
Have you looked at Leody Tavares?
Trash.
Who's the left fielder?
Their left fielder right now is Evan Carter.
Oh, Evan Carter's nasty.
Who's on a fucking heater, dude?
Right now, I'm giving it to Evan Carter. I don't know who the other side is.
Dr. Smooth
it's
over Evan Carter.
I'm taking full count Evan Carter over Dr. Smooth right now.
I'm also taking Dr. Smooth as a free agent, please.
Oh, please.
He would be perfect. He could slot right into your 2-hole.
He's your new Brandon Belt, but cooler. And
hey, guys.
But better and a better hitter.
McCormick.
Oh my God, no, he didn't.
Hey guys.
What?
Chas McCormick had 22 home runs in 115 games this year. He hit 273, 353, 489 for an OPS of 842.
Yeah, so I don't see Leody Tavares having done that.
No. Put some fucking respect on Chas McCormick. Man.
What the hell was that little reaction in the bottom there?
Sorry, I thought these were. But moving on. What was it? Shit.
And then you're losing DH.
Catcher, no, yeah, you're absolutely losing DH.
See, that was one of the two positions. That was one of the.
That's the best player in the series,
for
man.
Sure. And I think me and Brand are both saying Altuve.
In the playoffs, it's absolutely Altuve.
And
just lose.
No, the
Tucker and McCormick. So you're winning. You could say you're winning left field. I think that's closer with.
You're not winning.
Dr. Smooth. No, I'm saying you're winning.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Shortstop, I'll give you first, and I call catcher a lot closer than you want to say it is, but I'll give you catcher. You're still losing.
Can I take the catch? Take the catching combo of Jonah Heim and Mitch Garver. Mitch Garver.
I would take. Yeah, that's nuts. I would take.
Mitch Garver doesn't catch.
What's his Diaz?
DH. Yander Diaz.
Yes, I would take Diaz over Maldonado personally, but
yeah,
apparently, I think he's not
defensively and how he deals with that pitching staff.
Yeah,
is like Yadi Molina level.
The pitching staff is where the difference is going to be made in this series.
So that's what I was trying to say.
That's not an argument. No.
No, I was a gasp at it's 4-0 Diamondbacks in the first inning.
The Dodgers suck.
They hit 4 home runs.
Dude, they don't have starting.
Did they yank their starter yet?
No, it's Lantland. He's still in there.
Still in?
He got out of it, but it's
okay.
It's 4-0.
So the starters have combined for 3 innings right now in the entire series. And it's a combined score of what was it, 11 in the first game? 11
off the starters or just in
total, just
11
in the series. It was 11
4.
8. Was it only 4?
I think it was only 4. 11 4 and 4. I'm almost positive.
I don't like. What do you expect this Dodgers team to really do with the pitching they have?
Not fucking put up a wet fart. Like
they won 101 games with this pitching staff.
You can win in the regular season with lesser starting pitching.
Like I'm not saying they gotta win the World Series, but like, dude, don't fucking peter out. Like
this is a Diamondbacks team that was in first place for a good chunk of the season.
A Diamondbacks team.
This isn't a bad Diamondbacks team.
A Diamondbacks team was 2 starters.
Legitimate.
What did Philly have?
Brandon Pfaadt had a 5.5 this year.
What did Philly have last year?
They had 3.
No, they didn't.
They had Suarez, Wheeler, and Nola.
Suarez did not have a good year. I do not believe.
He
also came back from an injury right at the end of the season this year. They had 2 starters going into the playoff, and Suarez was a question mark.
Zach Eflin? Question.
They did have
he was in the pen last year.
Okay, I remember him pitching a lot, but I don't remember who was the 3rd starter for Philly.
It was Suarez.
They ran like a bullpen day. Suarez was good in the playoffs, though.
Yeah, but I don't believe he had a good season last year. Is what I was saying. Like coming in, you didn't have a 3rd guy. Like what they're doing this year is essentially what the Diamondbacks are doing with Pfaadt.
Oh, I lied. I'm sorry. Lance Lynn, it's the 3rd inning.
Oh, so he's still in the 3rd? Okay. Shout out to Lance Lynn for
shout out greatest catcher in baseball for another fucking home run.
You know what I mean? Though,
Danny Jansen?
Pfaadt, the way they're dealing with Pfaadt and the way the fuck am I thinking? Suarez is being dealt with are pretty much the same.
Yeah, but you guys want to know what I've learned? Gabriel Moreno's a fucking winner.
Why?
Have you seen their record when he starts and when he doesn't? They were like 67 and 27 when he starts.
Yeah.
Like and they were like a 300% win percent team when he doesn't.
I don't want to talk about Gabby Moreno anymore, man.
I don't really either. I'm so over this argument.
I'm a little bit too. I was just
everyone is just.
I know why you're saying it, and I get it, and I appreciate that he's unbelievable. But I'm gabbied out.
It's just like God.
Like he's not here.
He's never coming back.
Wish him well.
Never coming back. I hope he's an all-star for the rest of his career. But
I don't have to hate him.
I can't. I
don't wish him well, and I wish Varsho well.
Once Ross Atkins gets fired, do we ever have to talk about this ever again? Like the trade doesn't matter anymore. The GM's gone.
Unless we play the Diamondbacks in the World Series and Gabby shits on our chest, but like
but
they've made one like pretty bad trade. Look at Berrios, look at Chapman, look at Robbie Ray, look at Stripling. Like you can go signings
Jordan
too.
Hicks.
Look at Jordan Hicks.
I think this
honestly, Eric Swanson.
Yeah.
The Belt signing was great. Semien signing was fantastic.
Like, the Chad Green.
The
trade for Cabrera. Like
he's honestly, got a lot of hits, just a couple of big misses.
I don't think
I don't even think it's a couple. Misses. I think this is the big miss.
One. I think the
Brad Hand,
Jonathan VR, and last year Mitch White.
I mean,
those tough, but that one
and Paul DeJong, I would say, but Paul they all went for nothing.
Yeah,
like, those
you didn't give up anything for those.
The big miss is the one where you actually gave up prospects. It's not like you're Oakland and you traded away Chapman,
the whole postseason,
fucking and Murphy, and didn't get anything for them.
Christian Pache, they TFA'd and he's getting starts.
Dude, why didn't they pick up Christian Pache?
The Phillies somehow won the Matt Olson trade.
It's nuts. I don't get it. And he's playing against Matt Olson.
That was like the best player in the deal, supposed to be.
Yeah, like
so aggravating.
To be like for the best player in the Sean Murphy trade. Actually, the best two of the best players went to the Brewers.
Yeah,
who was the other one?
Payamps and Contreras.
Yeah, Payamps had a good year too.
And then granted, the third best player did set the record for stolen bases in the American League, the rookie record.
Yeah, that's cool. You're saying he's the third best player. You forgot about the main player. So the A's got the fourth best player in the trade.
I meant like third best isn't like not including Sean Murphy.
the A's gave up the best player and got the fourth best back.
Yeah, the Brewers gave up like the seventh best player and got the second and third. Making sense.
Big trade for the Brewers. Yeah. All right, let's get to the Phillies and then let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go to the other series that
I've never seen a bigger wagon.
I love this team so much, man.
Dude, I've never seen...
Their requirements to play in this team are literally just, do you have an 18-inch hog? Yep.
Do you have the mane and flow of the gods? You're in too. Like, also, I've never seen...
Do you know how good... Go ahead, Connor.
I've never seen a series shift in momentum multiple ways so fast.
Do you know how good Nick Castellanos has been since the Israel thing happened?
Did you see he did it again?
He did it again. We don't need to do this. Don't do this.
Guys, built for tragedy, bro.
Because he hit a deep drive to left field and no run.
He went like 3 for 4 last game, too.
Did you see he
did it almost won it?
Didn't he have 2 bombs today? Like,
yeah, but it was his second one, I think. It was in the middle of them talking about Charlie Manuel having a stroke.
Was it actually?
Yes.
Sorry, Charlie, but
Charlie Manuel had a stroke, and he's like 2 weeks ago or something, and they're talking about him rehabbing. They show him like swinging a bat in rehab and hitting a ball, and the announcer literally says something along the lines of, "Oh, and he really loved the long ball," and then it pans back to TV. Boom.
Bro,
it was that one was money. Like, I don't care what it is.
Like, it shouldn't be laughable.
Series, you just have to, if you're the announcer, you have to put something in. I don't care. Like
yeah, and then to kind of slightly just go back for 2 seconds on the whole tragedy thing. It sucks that we had the other side of that Nick Castellanos tragedy case in the case of Dean Kramer.
Yeah, that's brutal. I don't think I would have started him.
Like, he said he wanted to start, but like that's. Sorry, yeah. Sorry,
Kramer's not good at baseball.
No, he was 24-8 in his starts.
Yeah, I understand that, but I just couldn't listen to it anymore because I was listening to the radio broadcast and they mentioned how phenomenal Dean Kramer was this season 4 times. He was in the game for an inning and a bit.
Congrats,
They're like,
Nate.
he was
Congrats, Nate,
phenomenal this year.
Congrats, Nate. You won money.
No.
Oh, what'd you do?
Do you want to hear Orlando Arcia's quote?
Oh no.
Oh no, Orlando Arcia, what'd you do?
No,
Is it a real
he
quote?
wasn't supposed to hear it. That's why we were saying it in the clubhouse. I thought whatever is said in the clubhouse stays in the clubhouse.
Yikes.
Yeah, Orlando. You just
Woo!
ruined. Like, I'm blaming Orlando Arcia for ruining one of the greatest validation moments I've had in my life.
My guy, how do your shoes look?
Fucking bro. Like I was saying, the Phillies fucking owned game 1 in the series. Then the Braves literally in the like.
Did you guys see these two dudes too? Look at this.
Oh yeah, yeah. Why are they standing up at the
What?
like the
The
sixth?
fuck?
You know
Philly
what?
just seems like so much fun.
I want to go.
Me too.
But like,
Oh, here's the video. I'm sending it to both you guys.
okay, we'll look at the video later. But like,
The Castellanos, it's good.
game 2, Wheeler was Dyson, and then Darno, Riley, and Michael Harris said, fuck you, 1-1. And then I'm like, okay, Braves, we're good. Braves moving. The wagon is beginning with them. And then literally Nick Castellanos and Bryce Harper said, what wagon?
Yeah, I don't know. Have you seen the
What do you
latest
guys-
episode of Baseball is Dead, Connor?
Yeah.
I believe so.
The one where Joey called the
Talks-
series over? Like,
Oh, where he talked about his dead cat.
yeah.
Yes.
The one where he like proclaimed the series over like 5 times.
Dude, his cat set the Phillies in motion.
To be fair, yo, you could tell he was off.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
he
But I'm
was
like,
on
how are
one.
you going to sit there 1-1 at home, going back to the absolute madhouse that is Philadelphia, and say the series is over?
I know, like Joey's usually like a very sarcastic person on that show. That mixed with him being on one just didn't fucking didn't.
No, it did
pan
not
out
work.
well.
Did not work out.
What are your guys' thoughts on the Harper play?
I think you got to stop at second.
I get why he did it. He went
You
a
got
little
it.
bit too.
You got to stop at second.
I've gone all over the place on this one too. Originally, I thought he was an idiot, and then looking back on the play, I see why he did it. But I think he went too far too. I think you stop at second. But
Yeah,
I
like
get why he's
on the
there.
other side of second, like just on the other side of second, you can go, like, so you don't have to touch the bag and try and go. Like you take off from your spot, or like you basically tag up from second, essentially. Like you're tagging up to go towards third and then run back if you have to.
If I'm nitpicking, he can still round second, but he's kind of got to like just stop.
Be ready to go back.
He was kind of like still kind of going towards third.
Yeah.
I never saw a
you can't
video of
hover.
how far he actually ended up. Did you guys?
He was like 3 or 4 steps like off of second to third.
All I saw was him touching the bag when the ball came into the cutoff, man. I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't great. Like
No.
But again,
I get why you did it.
Michael
You're trying
Harris
to tie the game.
made
with
a
that
fucking
ball.
That was an outstanding play.
Great catch.
like
Also overthrew the cutoff man, and like
He got a
Oh,
little too
the
fired
cutoff
up.
men were not in the right area. Like just
But
it shouldn't have been as
fucking
close as it was.
shithole of a play.
shout out to Austin Riley because he backed that up and got that ball and fired it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Philly went up 2-1.
Philly
today?
looked good today. They went up 2-1. They play tomorrow.
They play
Next
tomorrow.
day?
Yeah,
They play tomorrow.
give me some Ranger.
Oh boy,
some Morana Suarez. Oh yeah, Bryce Elder pitched today for them.
he did.
Did he?
Yeah.
How'd he do?
He was good.
He gave
for
up the
first-
tank
no, he
to
wasn't.
Castellanos.
No, he wasn't.
in the words of you, let me fucking finish.
No, he wasn't.
He was good for the first 2 innings. He got the first 2.
Didn't
no,
he
got
get?
the first
He gave
two-
up the tank in the second, didn't
He
he?
got the first.
No,
he
sorry,
gave it up in the
pardon me.
third.
Oh, he
He
gave up
gave-
6.
He gave up 6 in the 3rd inning. Like
No, he wasn't.
he was fine in the first 2 innings.
Yeah,
and
he
then
had
they
a
just
good
went,
2 innings.
And
That's
then Bryce
good.
Harper just
There's
went.
9 in a game.
Like
Hey, good news. Nate Nola didn't get 6, so your
I
bet
know.
wouldn't have cashed.
I know.
Um,
But it was just like of everyone that you make a comment about, man, I'm not doing it to Bryce.
you know,
I
how many,
would do
you know how many videos
any
there are
person.
of Bryce Harper getting the overrated chance and proceeding to hit a tank on the next pitch? Like,
Yeah,
you just,
and it's
you just
also-
don't say things about Bryce Harper.
as we've clearly
Honestly,
seen.
I'm taking Bryce in moments like that after someone has said
Anything.
that about him
over Barry Bonds.
over almost, I think, can you name an athlete you'd take over him in a scenario like that?
No.
Tiger Woods hitting the fucking tree.
Maybe.
Tiger Woods when he had 18 girlfriends.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But like,
man,
It's
like
just-
even to
it's
be
a
like,
short
oh,
list
we
is
were
the
in
point.
the clubhouse, it shouldn't have mattered. I think Bryce just has radar senses for that shit.
Yeah.
He knew.
His first year in Philly was 19.
I think so.
Has there
Yeah,
been
that was the year they won the
anybody
World
in
Series.
that fucking time span? Has there been anybody like that has hit more fuck you home runs than Bryce Harper?
He's the fuck
Hey,
you king.
Do you guys remember where he played before that? Because I'm really starting to forget real quick.
Yeah, it's as he said.
I'm pretty
a long
sure he's
time
only
ago.
been a Philly.
Dude, as he said a long time ago when he was on the Phillies. That's a clown question, bro. It's a clown question.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that in Toronto.
I fucking
Yeah, that's
wish.
so funny. It wasn't Toronto.
I would have ran through a wall.
He didn't play for Toronto, but he was
It was in Toronto, Connor.
It was in Toronto.
Yeah. When he said
The
it,
reporter asked him.
they asked if he was going to
because
go
he was
drinking.
19. They were going to ask if he was going to go drink. He's like, "That's a clown question, bro. I don't drink."
That's fair.
He drinks tears.
Yeah, Lando Arcia tears.
The tears of
Also,
his
Dude,
enemies.
You know
the
what?
fact that
Fuck
he
it.
didn't look at him and just like stared at his toes is the biggest beta move ever. Like,
What do you do if
dude,
you're
at
Orlando
least
Garcia?
own up to it. At least, like,
what are you gonna do
nod.
though?
Give him a
That
nod.
guy's
You wanna know-
fucking eat him
Give him a
alive.
nod of respect.
Okay, the only thing that I could compare that to is, do you remember it was like 2021, the Mets Yankees game with the whistling and like a fucking Lindor hit 3 home runs? Okay.
Whistling.
No, long story short, the Mets were accusing the Yankees of doing some whistling and cheating shit. So then fucking Lindor hits his second home run, goes around the bases, like starts like being a dickhead. And then Stanton hits a fucking piss missile to tie the game. And then he goes at Lindor. So then they clear benches and shit. And then I shit you not, the following inning, Lindor says, fuck you, third home run of the game, they win the game. And they just go to Stanton and he's just like, you can't do anything. You can't do anything.
Yeah, what do you do if you're RC on that point? Are you just gonna look at him?
You can't go at him.
I'd like tip your cap to him or something when you
give him
said
a nod.
that.
Like,
I probably wouldn't
sorry.
go up
give him
the
a
at
slight
bat
glove.
after he hits a bomb and
as he's rounding second, you go,
wiffle
attaboy,
ball
Bryce.
swing. Take a wiffle ball swing at a pitch that's fucking outside the fucking other batter's box
At his
and miss it by 4 feet.
Yeah. So now, if the Braves get eliminated, did they change the playoff structure next year?
I fucking can we stop? Can we stop with this? I think if you're doing any change, and sorry, Nate, if you're doing any change after the wild card, you reseed.
No, I think that's stupid.
You do what the NFL does.
I think if I'm NFL, Jesus, if I'm MLB owners, I am adding 2 teams before I change the structure.
I'm not. What I'm saying is not changing the structure. It's say the number 1 seed right now is the Orioles, right?
Yes, they get to play.
They would get the lowest
Minnesota.
seed that made it through.
Minnesota.
They would get
Would the lowest seed be Minnesota or would it be?
No. It'd be Texas still.
It'd be Texas. It would have been Texas, but like,
so it wouldn't have changed.
But yeah, like in this instance, but like,
right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I hate that.
Like, if
you're doing something like that, but
that doesn't change the days off
and divisions and everything together, and you go 1 to 16 or not 16. How many teams there?
Or 1 to
12.
1 to 12. I get rid of
all of the leagues.
Yeah, I'd rather see that.
If anything, I do what the NBA does. The NBA still has divisions, but it's still 1 to 8. In the conference.
I think that's how it should be. I don't think there's
1 to 8.
a need for divisions.
I'm getting extreme with the whole.
Yeah, I don't know if we abolish the leagues because it's just I don't think it's ever going to go that far. But
no,
I like 1 to 8. 1 to 6.
Do the Twins even make it if it's 1 to 8? I think they're the 7th seed.
They're the 7th seed.
They're the 7th seed if they make it.
Yeah, they wouldn't have made it in. If divisions weren't a thing, there wouldn't be a central team in the in the AL.
Which is a little crazy.
I think you probably need 2 just for like Somatics or whatever, because it's scheduling wise, I'm sure.
I think
Can I fucking goddamn 2 seconds here, please? Thank you. I'm in. I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm kind of over the 3 game series and would rather go back to the one. And I don't know who brought it up, but they said, and then add 2 to the DSs
Rubbish.
and make them 7s.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even do what they do in like Korea.
In what, sorry?
In like Korea.
No, I think that's stupid.
Korea. What is Korea?
What Korea does is like, I'm just going to use the Jays and Twins as an example. We're the 6 seed, the Twins are the 3 seed. If the Twins win game 1, that's it. They move on.
Yeah, so you explain this as the fucking higher seed has an extra
higher
win.
seed has an extra win already.
Okay.
You don't say they just win.
They just win.
Explain.
Sorry. Yeah.
They just win.
If the Twins
I like
win
it. They win. Win-win.
Twins win game 1, they move on automatically. If the Jays win, then they got to play another one, basically. Then it becomes the 2 out of 3.
I don't think that changes the issue that everyone has, though.
No, I think that's really.
I think at the end of the day, the only way to change the issue is to either have the division winners play in the beginning,
or
I don't love the time off. That's kind of.
I think that's the main issue here.
I don't love it, but I also don't think it's that big of a deal. And I just am not a huge fan of the 3 game series at this point. I'd rather see a 1.
The Astros had the time off. They won a World Series. They won again this year.
I'd rather see a 1 game. I think a 1 game is a lot more exciting than the 3.
I think if the owners are doing something, they are adding 2 more teams before they
100%.
Before
also,
they do
like,
else.
can we just notice something else here? All the teams that had a bye that are getting shit pumped had the same problem. They're pitching. They're starting pitching. All of them had the same issue. The Orioles couldn't pitch. The Dodgers.
The Braves are.
2 of them are hurt.
Clearly can't pitch. The Dodgers clearly can't pitch
Morton
right now.
hurt.
Oh, you're right.
Freed, I don't think was 100%.
Freed's not.
He broke his
Freed
finger,
wasn't
but he
good.
pitched.
Elder
I know it
wasn't
wasn't 100%.
Elder wasn't good. Like all of them are having the same issue. Starting pitching. The Astros are the only ones that didn't have an issue, and look at them. They're going back to the ALCS.
Do you,
like,
if this is what we're worried about, like, do you want to just? Why don't we just have the best team in the AL play the best team in the NL, and we just have the World Series and no playoffs?
Yeah, just go back to.
Do you want to do that?
The 20s. Like,
do you want to just have a championship series, just 2 teams from each side?
Yeah.
No, we like fucking playoffs. We like the randomness it brings. Just stop being fucking babies when your team doesn't do great. Like, it sucks.
Yeah.
It's too bad.
Sorry, you got to enjoy one of the greatest 162 games.
Would you rather be the Phillies and go? I guess they were at home, right? And then travel to Atlanta, and then play on the road for 2 games, like to start a series? No, I wouldn't personally.
No. Like,
Braves just don't have it, man. Or haven't had it so far. They might find it, but
their starting is always an issue in the playoffs.
You can't blame the structure when last year's World Series winner went through the same path as every division winner this year.
And they did it this year.
Yeah.
And they're doing it again.
Yeah, and also it's not like all 4 division winners lost last year. 2 of the fucking teams that got a bye last year made it to the championship series. The Yankees and the Astros. Like, it's still happening. Like, it's not. Don't be.
It's not like they're losing to schmuck teams.
No. Like, for Baltimore, granted, young team. Texas was the hottest fucking offense going. Like,
my money was on Texas. My money was on the Diamondbacks. I don't put the Braves or the Dodgers in the bracket, but I bet on the D-backs for the series. After looking at the rotations, my money was on Houston, and my money's on Philly because I think Philly is a better team right now. When you look at those rotations,
they're more built for the playoffs. I would argue.
And someone put it this way: they've played each other how many times? The whole fear of going into each other's ballparks doesn't mean shit anymore.
No,
but Philly's ballpark in the playoffs is a different beast. Altogether.
It is an animal.
Like, so it's not an issue for any of these teams. Like, and even. I think to even we're gonna get into it eventually, but the ALCS, no team's gonna have home field really. If you think,
you're down the road. Like either fan base can travel.
Actually, Texas is fucking huge, but I don't know how far like Fort Worth is.
They're on other sides of the state. I'm pretty sure.
Is that really that far though?
It's a bit far. It's about
What's
4
the
hours.
Fucking Globe Life and Minute Maid, right?
It's about 4 hours from
That's
Fort
not that
Worth.
far.
Fort Worth
Not that
to
bad.
Fort Worth to Houston is about 4 hours. But yeah,
But it's like
If you're
proximity
a
to state.
Houston fan, that's 2 hours from Houston towards Arlington.
yeah. But
But
like,
like I'm just gonna say Philly and Arizona aren't really neighbors, so
no, those are gonna be home fields.
yeah,
Like,
just a little bit. But
but yeah, it's nice to look at playoff
It's fun
teams.
to see teams
nice.
succeeding in the playoffs. It's super cool.
It's nice to not have to look at a disappointing team and a team that Ken Rosenthal called today a paper tiger.
I'd call him a lot of things. I'd call Ross Atkins a lot of things. I'm pretty sure I said something very similar at the deadline.
I think I'm ready to fire Ross Atkins. I think we run that train to the ground.
Before we get out of here, I have one question for Nate. You say that Philly's requirements to be on that team is you got to have an 18-inch hog. What if Kevin Biggio got traded to the Phillies? Are you still a Phillies fan? Do you still believe that's
you
the
must
motto?
have an 18-inch hog.
Kevin's got an 18-inch hog.
Kevin Biggio would go to the Phillies and hit 3 all of a sudden because he
don't
just
dislike
finds it.
him. I just don't like him the way we use him, and I don't think he's best suited as a starting second baseman on this team next year.
We're not going to get into the thing that may or may not have happened with Kevin Biggio on Twitter. I don't know if that's honestly. I don't know if that's true or not, Nate, with what happened with him and certain other.
I thought it was like recent. That's kind of scumbag shit,
but it's not. It's not from what I'm hearing.
It's not recent or not true.
I think. Yeah. Either way, like I don't think
Zach Pop just got engaged.
Zach Pop just did get engaged. Like so.
I'm assuming at worst it's not recent.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was somebody said Atkins didn't confirm at the presser that Zach Pop was retiring because of this or something, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Yeah, I'm assuming that like, I don't think they were teammates when it happened either, because Zach Pop's really only been a Blue Jay for a year and a half.
Zach Pop, noted good friend of Anthony Bass.
All right, we're gonna. Did you see? Okay, small side note before we get at it. Did you see that Yahoo article that came out today?
That like half the Jays were gonna mutiny and not play the game when they released Bass.
Well, that also came out as like trading.
That's
Anthony
what I saw.
What the headline was like, releasing Anthony Bass quote wasn't a baseball decision. If that isn't the biggest like A, if that's not a no shit thing, I don't know what is. Also B, wasn't good either.
No,
I think it was a baseball decision.
It was a baseball decision that he made.
They kept him through the BS, and then he wasn't good, so they got rid of him.
No, I think if I'm trying to remember the timeline correctly, it was the popcorn thing. He was fine, then the popcorn thing, and then it went on a little bit. He got worse, and then the other thing happened, and then it was like a couple days later, it's like, nah, nigga, fuck out. Like,
there's 3 different articles that came out in the last 9 hours,
which is kind of
2 of them are basically the same. One from Yahoo, one from Sportsnet, and then the other one says Bass says he was surprised Jays released him.
It's like, dog, you can be an asshole or be good. You can be an asshole or be bad. You can't be.
You can be Marcelo Ozuna, or you can be Roberto Osuna.
Let me interject, because Marcelo Ozuna was Roberto Osuna last year.
Sure, you're right.
He still has a job,
but he was already under contract, so it's tough.
Yeah, and he was getting paid big too.
Yeah. Yeah.
One guy you just never heard of again, though, eh? Roberto.
I saw
he's dominating somewhere right now. I know that.
I think he's like Mexico. Yeah.
Is it Mexico? I remember. I thought it was Japan, but
I'm really shocked that
maybe it's Japan.
Knowing baseball, nobody took a flyer on him in MLB.
Yeah, or still to this day.
Yeah, he was hurt in his last year in Houston, and then he was really bad when he came back, I believe. And then I don't think he caught on anywhere right away. I think he was injured for a while.
Dude, do you know he's only 28? He's
still young. Jesus. Well, he was 20, young. Wasn't he, when he came? 19 or 20 when he started with us?
19 or 20, yeah.
He pitched in the JPPL last year.
I don't think that's not Japan. I don't think so.
I'll look that up in a second, but he had a .92 ERA in 49 games. A .69 whip.
So that is Japan, even though it's called something else.
Is it?
It was Japan.
Is it their
Japan Pacific League?
Mm-hmm. But I think it was in the. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Fucking. Why we have gotten so far.
Hokkaido. The Nippon Ham Fighters are in that one.
Yeah. So that's the Nippon Professional Baseball. So that's
right.
Well, good for him. He's a scumbag. You do other things.
He pitches for SoftBank.
We already talked enough. We don't need to talk about another scumbag and potentially what he did or did not do because that's a whole other fucking can of worms. Like,
hey, Louis Rivera retired, and apparently,
we just
apparently people want Goins to take his spot.
Oh my
god! Anyone want to touch on that one quick?
Also,
I never knew.
Small thing. Two things can be true. Luis Rivera, thank you for your service. Ryan Goins, thank you for the things that you did in the baseball town.
We don't want you back.
We don't need you back, buddy.
Can we just real quick? Ryan Goins got called a Blue Jays legend numerous times.
He's a Blue Jays legend. He's a Blue Jays legend in no. Let me, in the words of Nate, let me fucking finish. He's a Blue Jays legend in the same way that like Wilmer Font is a Blue Jays legend.
No, he's the Blue Jays legend in the same way Munenori Kawasaki
was a Blue
Jays legend.
Yeah, like he's legend in like vibes only.
He was jumping around on the field when Bautista hit the ball.
Yeah, that's kind of his. That's the sad thing. He's known for two things, and none of them involve him.
God, what are we doing here?
He's known for like two things.
Didn't he drop a ball in Kansas City?
Three. Thank you. Three, and none of them are like him hitting or like fielding a ball cleanly.
No, Blue Jays legend. There's Young Nervous Solarte.
Yeah, there's him celebrating the Bautista home run because he's always like the first guy in that zoomed in image. There's him pitching that like shutout inning as in the 18th inning against the Guardians in that, and there's him dropping that ball in Kansas City. Like that, those are his career highlights. Really,
Ryan Goins played some good defense. Ryan Goins was not a Blue Jays legend. I saw that numerous times, and I think that is the funniest thing I saw all week.
Well, and like I heard he had great fundamentals and like all this shit, and I was like,
"Oh, he's just athletic."
What?
He was an athlete that could get to baseball.
He made okay plays.
What he did, yeah.
He was fine.
He's a backup second baseman that had to become a starter because the starter was perpetually hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Devin Travis just never gets hurt,
we would never know who Ryan Goins was. We would have never heard of Ryan Goins.
Never gets hurt. Does that team make like the World Series?
Yes, we win the World Series if Devin Travis is healthy.
Sounds crazy, but I think you're right.
Because I kind of think the same thing.
Because he was the leadoff hitter for like when he was there pre Ben Revere, obviously in 2015. But like,
yeah. All right, boys.
Yeah,
I think we've gone on long enough. We'll catch you sometime next week. We'll be a little bit closer to the World Series. Maybe
I hope we aren't catching Atkins next week. Hey, whoa. We gotta do a way too early NLCS pick here with the teams that are left.
I mean,
so NLC, like we're both sides, I'm assuming. I'm going
to say NLCS, I meant LCS.
Yeah. I'm going Astros over Rangers.
Same.
In 6. And I'm going Phillies over D-backs in 7.
I'm going Phillies over D-backs in 5.
Connor's going Rangers over Astros, and he's going D-backs over Phillies.
No, he's going D-backs over Braves because he thinks the Braves.
Oh, you're right. Nah, I don't know. Are you? I can't see.
No, he's going Braves over
D-backs. Rangers over Astros.
That was a given.
In 6, I'll give him.
Nice. I appreciate that you've learned.
I'll say 6.
Next episode will be 7, but.
And I'm taking the Diamondbacks. Genuinely, this isn't even me being.
No, that's fine.
I'm taking the Diamondbacks over the Phillies in 7 games.
So we're both going to Game 7, and it's going different ways.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
I said 6. No, I said 5.
Me and him went 7.
Yeah,
and
so I can't wait. Can't wait
for the Braves to come back and win.
Can't wait for it to be Atlanta and like Houston again.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. As always, everything's linked in the description below. I'm falling asleep already.
Yeah,
this is great.
I should have probably done the outro.
Yeah, sorry guys. Everything's linked in the description below. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram,
all the socials,
TikTok, everything. We will see you next week.
From
Bye.
Rangers podcast.
No.
No.